Hi, this is Gerhard Ritter. Welcome to my demonstration of a watercolour painting of the Oslo Fjord. Here I am sketching in with a Palomino 602 soft graphite pencil. Remember, this is not a finished drawing, we're just putting in the marks to let us know where the paint has to go. I mix up a very light mixture of lots of water, cerulean blue and a little bit of cobalt, and using a mop indicate the sky. There's no need to fuss with this. This is done very quickly, wet in wet. I follow that up with a darker mixture of manganese blue and touches of burnt sienna to indicate the distant hills. Leave some of the white patches because there are buildings there. It's Oslo, probably the east coast of Oslo. Bit more burnt sienna just to mix things up a bit and make it a little bit warmer. I swapped to a smaller brush and still using that manganese blue, mix in a little bit of cadmium yellow to indicate the foliage and tree on the left-hand side. I don't know what this quaint little building is, but there are a number of them we saw when we were on the trip around the islands. I'm using cobalt, Tasman blue, burnt sienna, mix them up, various different tones. Leave the white on the roof. Go a little bit darker with some burnt umber in the mix, just to pick out some of the darker portions of the building. This middle ground is where the details have to be, and the sharpest edges and the highest contrast, so it needs a little bit more care. I'm now using an even smaller round brush to pick out some of the details. This little building seems to have timber siding to it, and it's worth spending a little bit of time to get things almost right. I pick up some burnt sienna and mix this in with what I've got on my palette, changing the tone here and there to indicate the stonework and the foundation to the building. I try to leave white patches for the larger rocks and some of the other infrastructure around the building. In order to balance the shades and tones, I need to indicate the water, and this is done with a mixture of that same cerulean, a little bit of cobalt and ultramarine, and then for some of the reflections I mix in burnt sienna. While I've got a really dark mixture on the brush and I've swapped to a bigger brush, I restate the darks in the foliage, in the greenery on the left, and then make it even darker with a little bit of Payne's grey mixed in to again restate the foundations and some of the rocks, and the little sign that's on the right hand side, sorry. I then reworked the water, darkening it here and there, more reflections, a little bit of wave activity. In some places I'll lift it out with the clean brush. I've swapped back to the smaller brush and I've loaded it with some earth tones to add some colour to the rocks. I've got a really fine rigger, and with that I'm putting in some very fine little lines here and there just to provide the illusion of detail. I then mix up a thick mixture of titanium white gouache, and using the same small brush I start to just indicate a few areas of highlights, including the flagpole. Norwegians are very patriotic, and almost every home has a flagpole. Gently sweeping that brush across the water area provides a few little highlights and sparkles. The main subject needs to stand out a bit more, so I'm using various tones of blues to darken the background, including putting a little bit of red in there. An off-white gel pen is a handy way to get really sharp lines, but be cautious, don't overdo it. A thin wash is used to restate some of the shadows and work on the water a little bit more, giving a bit more definition. I almost forgot about the little staircase. Sign the work and it's done. Thanks for watching.